Hey guys, hope you guys are having an amazing day so far. Your boy is back with another subreddit video, and today we're diving back into horror stories with r/LetsNotMeet. If you guys didn't know, this subreddit is full of claimed true stories that are awfully terrifying regarding someone that they would never, ever want to meet again. And last time we did one of these, I was mortified. And I'm talking like at night, I was losing sleep because I was checking all of my doors. I'm not even joking with you guys, because the stories we read last time were so scary. And I'm actually filming this intro ahead of time because I already filmed the video 2 nights ago. And this episode also got me nearly peeing myself. Like, all these scary stories, whenever they're realistic because they're true stories, I start feeling like I could be in that scenario, and it makes it all the more scary. Before we get into the video, I wanted to give a huge shout out to 3 of our deluxe members of the Patreon, Celeste, Enoch, Dead Riser, and Mushka. Oh, and also Assalamu Alaikum. With that being said, if you guys want to check out my Patreon, it's going to be the first link in the description box down below. We're going to do an exclusive Let's Not Meet extended version on that page with an extra like 2 or 3 stories. I think it's like an extra 30-minute episode. So if you guys want to check that out, check out the Patreon. Oh, one last thing. Make sure you guys hit the like and comment section. It helps out the algorithm a lot, especially in my times of demonetization right now. And if you're new to my content, we do videos like this every single day. So make sure you hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you guys are up to date. All right, now let's get to the video. Yeah, let's get into this. r/LetsNotMeet. I am terrified already. Whew. All right, let's see what's been popping this week. All right, what a way to start off. This one, it sounds scary already. The title is, I think my ex tried to unalive me. This is gonna be long, I'm sorry. So where do I start? I met them when I was 15. Wow, okay. They, or he, was 17, sorry. So 2 years apart. Looking back, there were signs, the signs were all there. It started with small things. Us just rough or housing like buddies, like we're both guys. But it would escalate to them taking me back behind the shed where my friends couldn't see me and holding me against the wall and fake, quote unquote, hitting me. What? Who the freak does that? Hey buddy, you wanna read with me? Sora wants to read too. All right. Like pretending to hurt me while laughing the whole time. That is psychotic. But he did actually hurt me. I would have bruises for weeks. Wow. One time, he literally shoved my face in stinging nettles. But my naive 15-year-old self thought it was all in good fun. If only I knew then what I knew now. Wow. That is just straight up a sign of a terrible person in the making. Already, actually. All right, let's continue. We started dating at the end of sophomore year, and over the summer, things progressed. He used to beg me to give him massages, and whenever I would refuse, he would pin me down and tickle me until I relented and said yes. What? That's so weird. And when I stopped before he was ready, he'd go back to tickling me. Sometimes he would just randomly pin me down and tickle me. I would beg him to stop, but the only way to get him to stop was to literally fight him off of me. What the hell? Dude, when a girl says no, just accept it, brother. Like, or if a girl's uncomfortable, like that, you should know. This happened almost every single time we hung out. I grew to dread it. Damn, I wish you got out of this situation earlier. I don't know why I kept going back. Honestly, I was just in love with him. I'm 5'3" and weighed even less than I do now. About 100 pounds. He's 5'7" and lifted for context. I learned a lot about how to fight someone bigger off of me in those days. Oh, because of him. Oh, wow. Okay. It wasn't just the tickling, though. As I said before, they just used to jokingly beat me up, but the force of his punches were not jokes. So this guy literally just wailed on you? What the fuck? I would have bruises all over my arms and thighs formed from punching me. One time, I got in the front seat of our friend's car when he wanted shotgun, so he proceeded to punch my arm the entire 15-minute drive until I was almost crying because I kept trying to move away and tell them to stop. My friend who was driving did nothing. I don't know why he was even older than both of us. I don't know why he thought that was normal. That is so crazy. No one should be around anyone who abuses them. Physically, mentally, whatever. All right, let's continue. It wasn't just punching me either. I had recently gotten my ears pierced and he thought it was so funny to smack me upside the head. One time he made me bleed, and when I told him, he just said he hadn't. What? I tried to talk to him about this so many times, asking, please just don't touch my ears. And every time I asked, all he would do was correct my grammar. What the fuck? This was over text. I was honestly scared to say anything in person. Here's an example of me trying to talk to him from August 2021. And then there's some screenshots. I was looking to the screenshots. So this one isn't so much scary yet, at least. I mean, it could get scary, as it is just messed up. Okay, so we're on Snapchat. It's not a big deal, just at least don't hit my ears. I would never. So he would deny it. You made me bleed today. IDK if I'm just super scared of my piercings getting infected or something. And then he corrected her. What a fucking asshole. Yeah, just please don't. He corrected her again. OMG. Oh my God. Yeah, this guy is the worst. You should not. What the hell? I mean, I know you're young, so. We ended up breaking up and just staying friends. Why would you stay friends with someone like that? That's crazy. I spent all my free time at his house like an idiot. Another thing he started doing was always wanting to smoke me up, but never smoking himself. Whoa. That is a huge red flag. That's weird. That's so strange. That's like getting a girl. I don't know. This is weird. Huge red flag, I know. But at the time, all I was thinking was more weed for me. I say all this so explain what our relationship was like and how utterly confusing this all was for me. To this day, I'm still confused on why they acted this way. And now for the part where I really think he tried to unalive me. I was 16, now he was 19. And the day started off normal. We were just hanging out. From what I remembered, this time period is kind of spotty for me. The next thing I remember is him sitting on top of my chest and arms pinning me down, like he would normally do to tickle me. This is so weird. Who the fuck just does this? But this time he had both hands around my neck choking me. Not in a like kinky way, like both hands on my windpipe. I couldn't breathe, could barely talk. Oh, this is a serial. What the hell? I kept hitting his hands and arms, trying to pull them off my neck, and it wasn't working. I was trying to say, I can't freaking breathe. Let go. But as I said, I could barely talk. I remember thinking, am I gonna die? Is he really trying to me? The whole effing time, he was laughing and smiling. I honestly don't remember how I got him off of me, but I think I must have used my legs and somehow rolled over. The next day, I had almost forgotten it even happened until I realized my neck was sore and bruised when I was at school. I texted him, you left bruises on my neck. And all I got in response was, oh, sorry. I wish I could have said that was the last time I hung out with him, but it wasn't. Damn, bruh. Guys, this is a lesson. If someone is doing this to you, just get them out of your life. I actually forgot how it happened until weeks later when I was talking to a friend and she was horrified. So I decided I never wanted to see him again and texted him that, and he said, that's understandable. That's all I effing got. I have no idea what he would have done if we kept hanging out. Oh, wait, so they did stop hanging out? Wait, hold up. Let's keep going. I have no idea what he had done for if I had kept hanging out or if I was just a little weaker. Honestly, I don't want to think about it. I'm posting this here because it's not something I can ever really talk about. Being a guy, the response I gotten is you must have given him the wrong idea. He probably thought you were just down to wrestle. But now that I'm older, I know what wrestling with your friends is. And it was always mutually agreed on. Not like that. I'm still so confused. I'm 19 now, and I can't imagine treating someone like that. Oh yeah, and our whole friend group at the time called me crazy, saying I was overreacting for not wanting to hang out with them anymore and essentially cutting me out. Effing wild. So yeah, crazy ex. Let's not meet again. Wow, that's weird. You could have died. That's scary, man. Scary in a different way. Like actually, like just wow. Someone in the comments said, speak to a therapist about this. Seriously, this is a psychotic serial killer type of behavior. You weren't just abused, you were tortured for his sick amusement. A therapist would hear you out, and if need be, they will be the ones to inform authorities. This monster will eventually somebody or unalive. and play it off as, well, we were roughhousing, or your so-called friends are victim blaming. No true friend would ever let another friend suffer without actively helping. Yeah, that's true. That's crazy. Oh my God, here we go. Saddle up, guys. This one sounds scary. All right, title of this one says, Stranger at My House. When I graduated college, I was about 24 years old. I really wanted to get out on my own and try living alone. Luckily for me, my grandma had asked to be moved into an assisted living center for about a year prior. I had asked my parents if I could live there. They talked it over, and with my grandma, she agreed that it would be nice to have someone there after a year of it sitting empty. This was kind of up in the this was a kind of up and coming area, but still had its rough spots. So I was excited until I got there to do a walkthrough to see how I was going to set things up. The house was a shotgun style home with a cellar that could only be accessed from the outside. Ooh, that's interesting. A cellar, but only from the outside. While I was walking through the house, I swore I was hearing noises. No. Finally realized they were coming from the basement. Called the police, and they came out and escorted out 6 people from the cellar. Whoa. They were squatters that had been living there. After they left, I went down there to find all kinds of stuff. The cops took all the drugs and anything else illegal. Wow, they were doing drugs down there. It looked like somebody had spray painted all over the walls. It was just a concrete cellar where the water heater and HVAC was. So I wouldn't really have cared, except it was kind of satanic. I don't know anything about that stuff, but there was a couple pentagrams and a chalk circle on the floor. What the hell? That is scary. Cops didn't really have anything to say about it. They didn't know either. I poured some water on the floor to wash out the circle, but the walls, I just left that as is. Fast forward a few months, I would have fucking painted that shit so fast. Fast forward a few months of me living there, I had forgotten all about it. Had started dating my future wife, and she was over. We were getting ready for bed, and in the bathroom brushing our teeth. A knock came from the back door. I ignored it, but it came again. It was 1 a.m., and this was my back door. Someone had come in from the backyard by opening the fence gate. Okay, so the back door was not easy accessible. I grabbed my gun and went to the door. Keeping it out of view, some guy was standing on the porch. I opened the interior wooden door, but kept the outside storm door shut and locked. What the hell? I asked what he was doing there since it was so late. All he said is Christina here? What the fuck? I told him he had the wrong house, and he was like, so do you want me to leave? Yeah, motherfucker, what else? I told him he better leave and not come back. He just stood there staring at me. I was getting very nervous at this point and shut the door. He walked down the steps, and he just stood in my backyard staring at the house. He then tried to open the cellar doors. I had a padlock, and he gave up. What if he was probably one of the dudes staying there and left his, was trying to look for his a girlfriend or something months later. I opened the back door, a window, and told him to get out before the cops show, or he gets shot, or both. Again, he just stared, but he finally left. I didn't sleep that night. Again, a couple months later, my girlfriend told me that guy was back, just standing in the backyard staring at my house. What the hell? That is so scary. Oh my God, that gives me chills. This time it was in broad daylight. I called the cops this time. He tried the cellar doors again, but left before they showed up. The next day I went down to the cellar to see if maybe there had been something left behind that he was trying to get, but nothing. It was just a damp, disgusting cellar with a dirt floor. I had zero idea what he wanted in there. I highly doubt the satanic stuff had anything to do with it. It just made it creepier. I unfortunately had to move out sometime later, and as I could no longer afford it, never saw that guy again. Wow, that is really weird. Comments are saying maybe this guy wasn't aware the squatters were no longer living there. Still super unsettling though. Yeah, that's really creepy. How'd he draw a chalk circle on the dirt floor? OP said it wasn't a chalkboard chalk. It was like the chalk you see in a baseball field. Ah. Everything's scaring me right now. I got a notification on my phone, and I was a little bit jumpy. I get scared so easily. Okay, the title of this one, I have to be careful. I'm going to read it to not get demonetized. I didn't sleep in the Airbnb because I thought I might get unalived. All right, typo in the headline, sorry. Don't take this too seriously. I'm sure there's a logical explanation for this, but I'm glad I didn't take the chance. Super creepy, nevertheless. About 2 weeks ago, I booked an Airbnb in another country. I was going for a concert. The room was cheap, so I knew I wasn't going to be staying in a 5-star hotel, but it was only one night and I didn't mind as long as I had a bed. To start off, it wasn't a great trip because my data roaming apparently didn't work in that country at all. Whoa, that is already scary. I logged into a cafe Wi-Fi and planned my route in advance as best as I could. Managed to be at the house in time, rang the only bell and waited. Nobody came out. I repeatedly rang and waited for 5 minutes. I noticed the door had a slot for mail and looked through it. I was shocked to see the entrance that looked like an abandoned barn. Whoa. Super dusty couch right in the front of the door. Pieces of furniture covered in cloth, very dirty and extremely old. I usually love old houses, but that just did not look like a house at all. Or at least that was one that was in use or prepared for guests at all. I wonder if I was in the wrong house and what to do now, as a super old, unwashed looking guy walked towards the door from the street. I asked him if he knew where the Airbnb was. He mumbled something, which I interpreted as positive. So I asked him if he was Tim, my host. He said yes and opened the door for me. What the hell? This sounds like X, the movie X by A24. Well, I already described the entrance. The centerpiece, I gotta close the door, guys. Every time I do one of these, I can't have the door open. All right, sorry. The centerpiece was definitely the super old creaky staircase that led to the upper part of the house. I followed him upstairs. He was heaving and coughing and stinking of cigarettes, which wasn't exactly pleasant, but all right. The second floor was also abandoned looking, super dark and clustered furniture hung with cloth and randomly thrown together, and a super creepy curtain that I couldn't catch a glimpse of behind. Another stair up and we were in my hallway, quote unquote, which was honestly the worst one. Cracks in the walls, old rural paintings, and crosses hung up to them. Dude, get out. Get the crosses hung up on the wall of an old, that is literally an A24 horror movie we're reading right now. It seriously looked like the set of a horror movie. That's so funny. I literally just said that. I usually don't have a problem with decor like that. I'm a goth, so anything dark inclined is my jam, but everything looked so badly taken care of that it gave major creepy vibes to the house. He showed me the bathroom, which had a huge hole missing in the bathtub, tiling, and the wall. What the hell? How is this allowed to be on Airbnb? I'm confused. Everything looked super dirty. He showed me the bedroom, which was honestly okay. There was a lot of creepy dolls on the shelves and threw me off, but the bed seemed fine. Yeah, I'm not staying there. I asked him if he had Wi-Fi and he said no, which sucked. I really hoped that they would have, because that meant I would have no way to communicate in there. And your service isn't working. You can't call anyone. I also asked him when checkout was the next day. He said, it doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, because no one was staying there. You were the first person and probably would be the last. He then dragged himself up the 4th story, which was in complete pitch black darkness, by the way. So that gave me very weird vibes. I definitely didn't want to shower or get into this shower, so I quickly changed and charged my phone. When I went to the bathroom, I realized I didn't even notice the creepiest part. There was no locks at all. Not for the bathroom, not for the toilet, and not for my room, which freaked me the F out. I also noticed that there was so many half-used items that somebody looked like the guest before me had just left there, like shower gels, toothbrushes, and toothpaste. A random lash curler that lay abandoned on the shelf. Not like a, here you go, you can use it in case you forgot yours way, but it looked like somebody had left it there and nobody bothered to clean it anyways. Yep, yeah. That could have been someone that is now missing. Who knows? This is so freaking spooky. I already made up my mind that I would definitely not be spending the night in this house. My mind was just in spinning scenarios. What if all the products were for the people before me? And why did nobody leave horrendous reviews? Maybe because they got unalived, LMAO? No, seriously, that's what I'm thinking. I was super spooked. I seriously debated if I should take all my stuff to the concert because it didn't feel safe in the slightest. I would have. But my back was really hurting from the heavy backpack, so I just took my essentials and left the room as soon as I could. Not without sliding a folded paper under the door so I'd see if someone tried to open it in my absence. Oh, that's so smart. A folded paper under that's so smart. I've never thought about that. When I was coming down the staircase, I heard someone turning a key in the front door. I was a bit confused, but in the advertisement, it said that a couple lived there. So I was expecting to see a wife/girlfriend of the guy I already met. Instead, a middle-aged man enters and says, "Hi, I'm Tim." Wait, what? Tim was the host. So the old guy wasn't Tim? Oh my God. So the guy says, "Hi, I'm Tim." All I could think of is, who the F was the other guy? I was shitting myself inside, but I had a brief small talk with him and finally left the house. What? I was shook. Luckily, I made it in time for the venue, and the concert was worth it. Afterwards, I was so tired that I couldn't stay awake for the whole night. So I checked into a hostel. That was also not perfectly clean, but it at least had Wi-Fi, a proper shower, and a door that had a effing lock. The next day, I got thrown out at 10 a.m., and so I made my way back to get the rest of my stuff. I didn't care why, but I checked the mail slot again and jumped back. The old guy was just snoring on the couch directly in front of the entrance. I tried my best not to wake him up and sneaked into my room to get my stuff. The door hadn't been opened, thank God, but I had finally left this godforsaken place. I don't know if I'm overreacted, but honestly, from the two Tims to the missing locks and the checkout that didn't matter, if I assumed the worst, this would have been the perfect setup to essay or unalive someone. Best case scenario, nothing would have happened, but I probably would have had panic attacks all night. Usually I love solo traveling, but this was too much. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say this. It is always better to overreact in a situation like this because technically, if you underreact, you could be dead. So yeah, that is scary. Comments say, I don't care about overreacting, but the vibe is so off and creepy. I think you made the right decision not to stay. Yeah, like, especially if you're a girl. I mean, even if you're a guy, it doesn't matter. It's situations like that. That's so scary, man. Wow, I am spooked. Whoa, what is this one? I almost became another statistic in a Bulgarian park at 4 a.m. What the hell? This happened to me roughly 1.5 years ago, and I still get anxious thinking about it. What happened in the summer of 2023. It was the year I had my first success with my online business, which allowed me to start traveling Europe while working and saving up for my dream of building farmland. 2023 started off amazingly. I lived a few months in Malta, then in Budapest, visiting friends who studied abroad. I'm originally from Germany. I'm 32, turning 33 this year. The first few destinations were a wonderful contrast to the miserable cold winters that dragged on for months in Germany. After having a tremendous time in Malta and Budapest, it was already the beginning of summer. My final destination for that summer was to visit a friend, let's call him Ben. He's about a year younger than me and currently studying medicine in Varna, located in the very east of Bulgaria. It's an interesting place with lots of Soviet-style, slightly run-down architecture, but it still had its charm as a beach city. The people are very nice, and some of the spots were beautiful. There are many expats, and I spent my days enjoying the large parks near the beach. The beach itself and its various cafes and clubs. I met lots of people and frequently went out to beach clubs with them on weekends. It was nice, hot summer, and I was enjoying myself until one particular night. I was out with Ben and many of his university friends again. We partied all night, had drinks, danced for hours, and just enjoyed ourselves during the wonderful summer night. Since we'd been to day events before the party, I had started feeling tired and decided to go home. I should describe the layout of the city as it's quite unique. Varna has a beach alongside the entire length, and for most parks, there was very big parks stretching for kilometers along the beach before they led to the city. My rented apartment was slightly northwest of the clubs, roughly a 10 to 15 minute walk, which I had done many times. People had warned me about occasional attacks, muggings, and robberies, always asking me to walk at least part of the way with someone. I usually didn't listen. That's so dumb. If people like locals are recommending that, anyways, just walked with my music playing, though I remained wary of my surroundings. That night, a few people who were also tired left with me. They lived a bit west, so I had to leave them after 5 minutes and continued alone with my music. It must have been around 4 a.m. when I came to the park I usually cross, separate from the main the main beach parks, closer to where I was living. Being summer and a weekend, there were still a few people walking around and driving even at 4 a.m. When I entered the park, I was suddenly shocked to see someone sitting on a bench maybe 50 meters ahead of me to the right. He was sitting there, staring at his phone, but I remembered the scene vividly. Behind him were some bushes and some trees, but as the lighting in the park was very sparse, I only really noticed at the last moment that someone was approaching him from behind through the bushes. Wow, the camera cut out at the most interesting time. What a cliffhanger. I think because I walked to the park, the guy sitting on the bench must have briefly looked up from his phone and heard someone approaching. It all happened so fast. I saw someone running out of the bushes with both hands raised above their head, holding a large rock, sprinting at the guy still standing there as he turned his head. Not immediately realizing the danger, I kept walking briefly before stopping. The guy on the bench screamed and ran straight out of the park, vaulting over another row of bushes and disappearing across the street. I had pulled my headphones off and stood there watching, not fully comprehending what had even happened. You need to understand that these things happen so fast until the guy who just tried to attack the other person with the rock turned and faced me. A shiver ran down my spine as adrenaline rushed through me, preparing to run. When he lifted that rock up again and started manically smiling while running in my direction, I had turned and ran for my life. He followed me for roughly 2 minutes. I could still see him behind me, even after crossing the street. I ran around the block and was incredibly relieved to find a kebab shop still open. I rushed through the door. The people inside were shocked, and I couldn't speak straight. But I didn't need to say much as the psychopath came to the store and started bashing the big window with the rock. When the glass broke, he finally ran. What the fuck? What made this even more chilling is that later I discovered I probably encountered someone who wasn't new to violence. In the same city, same park, someone had been bulging and then killed. Oh, unalived. I need to stop saying that on YouTube. I need to blur that. Someone was unalived by multiple stabs in the back just 1 year earlier in that same park. Whoa, there's an article. I can't read that because I don't want to get demonetized. I waited a few minutes, put my music back in, and walked home, carefully avoiding the park. What do you even do after that? That's so scary. Afterwards, I was shaking at home, locking every door. I couldn't sleep well. The next morning, I discovered I had fractured a tooth from grinding it in my sleep. Yikes. I'm forever grateful that this turned out okay. I'm also grateful that I met people who offered to smoke earlier, as the timing might have saved both me and the guy on the beach. If I hadn't entered the park at that exact moment, the guy on the bench might not have noticed his attacker in time. While this was the scariest situation of my life, other than nearly drowning in my ocean once, I think I learned there are some situations you just can't control. Stay safe out there, folks, and maybe don't walk at the park alone at 4 a.m. in the foreign city. But maybe that's common sense. Wow, that is scary. Yeah, guys, you got to be careful. I'm getting so many goosebumps reading these. Oh, man, there's so many good ones. I got to pick one more. Oh, let's see. Oh, God, we got another one of these. It's probably a squatter. I don't know. The title says, "To the creep that lived in my aunt's house." So this happened 5 years ago when I was, who's now 20, the OP. She was 15 at this time. My great aunt's health at the time was failing, and she could no longer take care of herself. So my family decided it was best to put her in a nursery home. Damn. We literally read a story so similar to this just recently, but let's see where this goes. Due to her being an extreme hoarder, I don't want to shit on my family in any way, but this is important for the story. Her house sat abandoned. My father and I were the only ones that checked up on the house from time to time. It started off small when we noticed minor stuff being moved around and drawers being looked through. Around that time, we didn't think much of it since another person close to my great aunt also had a key to the house. And we thought maybe he just wanted to get his stuff since he used to live with her from time to time. After a while, probably a month later, things got strange when we would roam the house more to rescue things. Wait, hold up. Things got stranger. We used to roam the house more to rescue some things in it and just to look through everything. Maybe after a week of doing so and feeling watched every time we were there, more stuff was moved around and placed so we would notice it immediately, like stuffed animals that used to sit on the shelf now neatly. Sorry, I had a check behind me for some reason. I just like imagined something. That's crazy. Anyways, I'm getting spooked, guys. All right, so they were feeling washed and more stuff was moved around and placed so that we would notice it immediately, like stuffed animals that used to be on the shelf and sitting near the house would end up on the other side of the staircase step by step. And they were, hold up. The stuffed animals were neatly sitting above one another on the step. Wow, that's spooky. Someone like placed it neatly. All right, dirty footprints and more drawers ripped open and stuff inside spilled everywhere. We got very suspicious of the situation and investigated more. We had late night drives passing the house just to check if we would ever catch a flashlight or any sign that somebody had been inside the house every night. At that time, I started telling my friends about the situation, and as the stupid kids were back in the day, we thought it would be a good idea. We thought it would be a good adventure for us just to stay there for a night and playing security with a mission to finally catch this person, and seemed almost like a ghost to us. That is the dumbest thing ever. I at the age of 15, was worried about playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and that is so scary. I know there's kids out there like this, but that's crazy to me. Another information that's important is that there was actually no way getting inside the house, no windows open, all doors locked, and we and this other guy were the only ones with a key. Anyways, back in the day, we stayed there, me and 3 friends, just settled into the kitchen, not noticing anything out of the ordinary yet, except for normal stuff that had been going on. So we assumed that they weren't around yet. Like the ghost or the person. We ordered pizza and just started talking for a while, just waiting for something to happen. After a while, we decided that we would go for a walk with my 2 dogs that I had with me. Okay, it's good that you have people and dogs with you. I made sure to definitely close and lock the door behind me. When we returned after 15 minutes, a single lamp in the last corner of the living room was turned on. Keep in mind, the whole living room was filled with trash. So they had to have climbed over everything just to turn on this one lamp. That's when we knew there was a person that had to be in the house now. How are you guys not you're 15. How are you not terrified? I'm scared right now reading this. We decided to go into the kitchen. Okay, I know now is not a time to make a joke, but I'm going to assume these are some white people. Because just like the horror movies, ain't no way me and no fucking way would I go in. All right, anyways, we decided to go into the kitchen and keep a low profile just to see what would happen. After a while, one of my friends, let's call her Jane, chickened out and wanted to go home. So we let her, and just 5 minutes after Jane closed the front door behind us, we heard someone walking down the wooden stairs, obviously thinking we had all left the house. Dude, this is like that story we read last week. Like somebody like waiting for you. Oh my God. We were so caught up listening to the creaking of the steps that we only realized what was actually happening was when one of my dogs started barking and the footsteps immediately stopped. There was only one wall separating us from whoever was coming down the stairs. And when we finally realized that, we all got so scared and ran out of the house as fast as possible. Wait, you guys left the dogs? No. There was a door separating the staircase from the hallway that we luckily locked as soon as we came back from the walk. So we probably locked him up there. Whoa. When we finally all sat outside the house, we just decided that it's probably best if we just called the police and let them handle the situation. As we waited, basically all holding our breaths, and after, oh my God, my cat just scared the Cloud. You can't just be jumping up here and scaring the hell out of me, dude. Like, I thought somebody had just like appeared on my left side. It was freaking cloudy. All right. As we waited, basically all holding our breaths and the aftershock of the situation, we suddenly heard someone, a male voice, talking quietly, probably on the phone. That's when we noticed that a window was slightly open on the second story of the house. He must have opened it at one point because, like I said, there was no windows that were ever open. We couldn't really make anything out of what was being said, only something along the lines of, been caught. After 30 long minutes of sitting there, the police finally arrived and went inside, and they looked through everything, but nothing was found. He for sure had enough time to simply hide somewhere. There was a room completely filled with cardboard boxes that reached under the roof. What the hell? This is like the perfect place to hide then. It's like, where's Waldo? That's when things got extreme. It was like he was playing mind games with us. He left notes for us everywhere in the house for us to find, with weird drawing on smiley faces with flowers saying, "Catch me." Dude, what the fuck? This is crazy. Placing this alarm thing underneath the front door that would go off anytime someone entered, letting him know that someone was there. Trashing the bedroom so that it was beyond recognition. Destroying furniture. Shitting into the toilet and placing a flower on top of the poop. And all this without ever being caught once. What the hell? This is literally like sadistic. This is crazy. Our checkups became more frequent, turning from once a day to every hour, but nothing. We eventually decided to let things cool down a little and ignore the problem for a while. At one point, he would just leave and basically unlivable. He would leave and basically unlivable house, drowning in cat pee and trash, right? Nope, wrong. Probably 4 months after we didn't put much interest into him or the house, one of my friends said he saw some figures standing at the window behind the curtain, just staring outside, and we were just like, oh great, here we go again. And suddenly the interest was back. One day, we all decided to turn up to the house. There were 7 of us. You guys are some brave ass kids. And we were just ready to search the damn house from head to toe, just finding the place that this guy was hiding at, and leaving and entering the house. Dude, what if you guys could get like unalived? This is so scary. Still, everything was locked. When we first got back inside, there was leftover and rotten food in the kitchen, and a surprise for us in the living room where he pooped on a cardboard box just like some effing dog. Ew, this guy is nasty. We decided to separate 4 of us. Dude, this place must have smelled awful. So 4 of us went inside the living room area. One of my friends stayed outside, and a friend, let's call him Carl, and I went into the stable area of the house because that part had a hole in the wall that connected to the place the hay was kept to the attic. But we never were able to figure out where exactly the hole in the attic was. Carl had thrown little stones at the hole that seemed to be covered with something like cardboard from the other side, just so our friends would be able to hear the sound from inside to find the entrance. All of a sudden, it knocked back. We actually saw the cardboard bending from someone hitting on it. And I yelled down to my friends outside if they were finally able to find that damn entrance. And all I got back from her was, no, everyone is downstairs. So it was him. Just kind of shocked, Carl and I quickly made our way out of the stable and to the others, saying, if we go to the attic now, we got him, since there was no way he could have escaped that quickly. And he would have had to pass us on the stairs. We all ran upstairs again, but nothing at all. After this, we just decided that we would give up and not go there again. We also realized that it might be dangerous. Yeah, no shit. He never seriously did anything to us except for creeping us out. but we were wondering what he would have done if he seriously caught him and stood in front of him. Our parents were also not really happy with us doing any of this. So again, months passed without anything, only sometimes driving by and seeing a faint light inside until the house was finally put on the market to be sold. Today, it had been completely emptied out and fully renovated. So to the creepy guy living in a completely rancid house for almost a year, let's not meet again. Or let's not meet, sorry. What the hell? Oh my God, these are so unsettling. It's like these type of stories for some reason scare me more than like ghost stories and stuff. I think it's because like, it's not that I don't believe in ghosts, because I kind of do, but it's like these are just so realistic, hyper realistic. Like I could see this happening to people that I know. Like this is so spooky, bro. That is spooky magook. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great night. Try to sleep, I guess. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.